So now I think that'll give us enough time. What I'd like to do, and I'm just gonna try to go in order that we put here down on the agenda, is give each one of these people, if you wanna take 2 or 3 minutes and, tell us what you're all about, and how people can get connected, whatever you might have. And then, hopefully that leaves us some time at the end, and, if we can talk to people individually. So, is Debbie Wolf here?
I don't see Debbie, actually. I can send her a quick Facebook message. I admittedly, I told most people 7 o'clock was like the name of the game. So we can start, for sports and extracurriculars. I would say if we can let Billy go, he has a 3-week-old, right? 4-week-old at home. He is the Hopkins wrestling extraordinaire, and I think in all fairness, we should let him giddy up and get him to his baby.
I was actually using this. This is the most peaceful.
Sorry, then stay as long as you want. If you want, we can have you go last.
Straight to crying, so it's kind of great. So I have flyers, by the way. This is a lunchtime flyer, so it's done really quickly. So please don't judge spelling errors. But all it is just everything that wrestling has in Hopkins that we do. First thing is everything we do is through community ed. There you go. Everything we do is through community ed on purpose. It allows us to keep our programs as cheap as we can. And then it also allows for like insurance and getting all the buildings and all that stuff. And then the other thing that goes along with it, all of our programs are, the cost of registration is the end of it. There are no weekend commitments, there are no extra charges, there are no uniform charges or anything like that. We know wrestling is a blue-collar sport, and we treat it that way. We try to keep the price as low as possible. We have a ton of options as far as like seasonal, so I guess I'll hand this out in a bit, but a couple things I do want to go through is our main program is right now. So registration's done as far as right now. Our main is a winter sport. So it kind of goes from November through, end of February, and that is 2nd through 6th. And then we have a new program that is booming right now. It is pre-K through 1st, which is adorable to watch. It's a lot of hugging and aggressive, but it's pre-K through 1st, and it's been really popular because beyond the wrestling, it's just like gross motor skills, and it's been a really big deal. I think what do we have, 50-ish total for that, somewhere around there, and so that's been great. And that is Sundays, and that's just 1 day a week, 1 hour, nothing after that. It is a practice. It is, and then it's done. We also, our girls program is booming. We think girls wrestling will be sanctioned probably this year for high school. It's been growing really fast. Augsburg just added a college program. High schools, we think, are going to add them soon. And so our youth program is, I think we're close to 25-ish to 30. And so that's another option. And then for over the summer, we do 2 things through Camp Royal, once again through Community Ed. And then the other place you might see some wrestling is if you have kids in Kids & Co. I run around all summer, move mats to gyms, and I run mini hour-long sessions through Kids & Co. And that is no registration and no fee. You just might have a kid coming home saying, I learned a headlock today. But that is, those are all our options. I'm going to leave these somewhere. Is
Yeah,
that
I'll take
fine?
them. Yeah.
Okay. And on this, all it has is Community Ed's website, because that's all our stuff is through there, and then just a giant list seasonally of what everything is, and then kind of the ages for it. And then we only have one thing in all of what we do that requires some sort of an experience, and that's the spring. It's a freestyle Greco season. But everything else other than that is very entry-level, introduction, beginner, and that's kind of our focus.
I'll say our 4th grade daughter came home from Kids & Co. over the summer and was like, we did this thing, and I want to do that. Whatever that was, we just did. And so she did like a 6-week,
What's this? It's about 6 weeks,
Yeah.
right? Where
The
she did
girls'
the 6
season
weeks.
is really short.
Yeah, but
and
it was
we're just
so
hoping
fun.
to introduce, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it like worked her body like crazy, and yeah, it was good. She loved it.
awesome.
You're a killer coach too.
Oh, thank you so much. Later.
Thank you.
Well, I did just see Glennis walk in. You're next on the list. Not to put you under pressure.
Did you guys know he just had a baby in his last? I just saw them. All good stuff. Hi, my name is Glennis Jones. I'm a former parent of Tanglin students. They have now moved on. Try to convince my angsty teenager to come say hi to you at least, and she was, yeah.
Well, at least the youngest
Moved
one.
on.
The youngest one likes you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the older one, she's off on her own. She'll come back
We
in
had a lovely
again at some point.
conversation today. It was nice to catch up.
Did you? Good. So I am here as a parent that has kids that have participated in a ton of the sports that are here, and actually Billy was our daughter's softball coach last summer, so I will second that he is a fantastic coach at whatever he's working on with kids. But I'm here for the Hopkins Hurricanes, or it's not the Hopkins Hurricanes, it's a Hurricanes swim club. So if you've ever had kids that love to be in the water, swimming is a fantastic group sport, but it's also an individual sport. So the Hurricanes is basically based out of Hopkins, and many of you may not know, we actually have 3 pools in our district alone, and the kids practice in all three pools. And so it's a great opportunity for them to get out, use their bodies, but more importantly, get to know friends. That is one of the coolest things, that they get out there, they know each other, they're all cheering each other on, they're having a ton of fun. And it's just a great lifelong sport. And with the Olympics coming up this summer, there's going to be a lot of interest in a lot of different sports and a lot of different things. So my encouragement to everyone is always get ahead of that wave. If you are thinking about putting kids in sports that will be highlighted in those Summer Olympics, because those programs will get busier, which is great. But swimming is a fantastic lifelong sport. We've even had meets where they had the parents swim with the kids, which was really hilarious. You forget how long a 50-meter pool is as you're going down the line. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna make it. But it's a great opportunity. The team is roughly about 250 kids. It's kids from Hopkins, from St. Louis Park. We have Wayzata kids. We have kids from all over. And it's a great piece of it. So I just wanted to swing by, let you guys know that those are options, and know that there's a lot of fun to be had.
What's the youngest you can start?
I think they can take as young as 6.
Oh,
The littlest kids are my favorite. I help run the meets, and I love the days when the little kids are there, and it's all arms and legs movement and getting nowhere, but they are working their hearts out, and they are having a blast. And so this team out does go up. We do have a few even over 18 kids that have stuck out, or through summers they'll come back while they're in college and come and swim with the team. But the kids all practice within their age group at their appropriate level where they're going to be successful. It's not, we're going to put the Olympic level swimmer with the brand new kid. There's some great connection with the older kids, with the little kids, and they really get to know a ton of people. But they really want to put where you're going to succeed. That is the main goal, and let them have some fun.
Thanks. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Is Matt here?
Yep, hi.
There we go.
Hey, everybody. So I'm Matt Butts. I'm here representing Hopkins Area Little League, or Hall for short. So my son Grant is a 6th grader here at Tanglin, and he's been playing at Hall since T-ball. And I've been involved at Hall as a board member and coach since T-ball as well. So I guess it's coming up on 9 years. In fact, I see Brad Klein here. We coached together a couple of years, so good to see you. So yeah, I'm just gonna tell you a few things about the league and why I'm proud to be part of it. So I guess one of the most visible things about Little League is, of course, the Little League World Series. So you may, if you followed that this summer, you may have seen the Coon Rapids team representing Minnesota in that tournament. So they're part of our district, and so their kids got to work their way up from the metro area all the way through the World Series tournament out in Williamsport. So in terms of our local league, Hall, I just think it's a really good balance of both fun as well as competitive development, right? So you kind of have the kids that are there just to have fun and make friends, but then you also have opportunities for those kids that are a little more, I guess, again, focused on the competitive aspects of it. So the opportunities for, whether it's just our in-house games as well as doing, travel and also all-star tournaments and fall ball and those kinds of things. But at the same time, again, there's no pressure on kids or families to specialize like you see with, some leagues or some sports. I would also say it's, there's limited travel, so most of our games take place, for the vast majority, take place at Metzold Field, which is just north of downtown Hopkins. So, kind of helps build that, real sense of community. It's kind of that, little tucked into a neighborhood area, and, these kids all kind of grew up together, and the families all get to know each other. So, again, just, made a lot of friends and good relationships through Hall. And I also want to put a plug in for our Challenger division. So Challenger is for special needs kids. So I believe it's all the way up through high school age kids. I'm not sure exactly what the upper limit is, if there even is one. But so it's the largest special needs baseball program, I think, in the state, and probably one of the bigger in the Midwest. So we've got kids from all across the metro that come in and play, and in fact our the kids, the little league kids, that are in the league, will act as buddies, for the Challenger kids. So they'll kind of help them around the bases and umpire and those kinds of things. So it's a really neat experience on both sides. So it's a really fun thing to be a part of. So so if you know of someone, not just in the Hopkins area but anywhere else that might have an interest in participating in the Challenger program, would love for you to get the word out on that.
And that's girls and boys?
Correct. Yeah. But yeah, so registration is open. It's for ages 4 through 12. We've got free clinics starting on February 16th. So it's a good way to if you're not sure if your child wants to play baseball or what league, you can kind of attend a clinic and see what it's all about and see if it's the right fit. But I've got some flyers here, and happy to answer questions if anybody has them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jason, I'll go to you.
Hi, I'm John Smart. I represent.
sorry.
That's okay. Jason was supposed to be here. I'm kind of thinking. John Smart. I represent the Hopkins lacrosse program. We're probably the newest association. This is only our second year in existence. In the past, we've been combined with St. Louis Park for many years. We decided it was in our best interest to just represent our own kids and take care of our own kids in Hopkins and give them as many experiences as possible. So last year we broke off and made our own association, and it's up and running. We basically are almost a year-round sport, and the opportunities that are available for both boys and girls. Right now we have box lacrosse sign up as soon as the ice goes out at the pavilion. They put down the turf and we play box lacrosse, and that's open to both boys and girls can play on the same team. The girls put the equipment on and they slug it out with the boys. It's very entertaining. And I like it because I'm the girls' high school coach, so it makes them pretty aggressive. I enjoy that they come out of that program. We have a spring program and summer that goes on for both programs, boys and girls. Girls have the option of playing with the boys all the way up until high school, so they can do it, keep the pads on, keep that on, or they can play the traditional girls game, which is basically goggles and a stick. There's no checking involved in girls lacrosse. There is in boys. It's a combination of soccer and football. On the boys side of the program, in girls, it's more like soccer and cross-country running, I would say, is maybe the best way to do it. It's a very good conditioning sport. We're very excited about it. We've had a lot of kids starting in participation. I know in our high school program, our numbers are growing, so that's why we decided to go on our own. I think on the boys' side, Todd has about 35 boys. This year we'll have close to 70 girls playing at the high school level, so we're really excited about that. We play a different style in the summertime. We play what we call 3-on-3 league. It's in an area about twice the size of this room, and it's basically 3-on-3 small area games. They only play for 12 minutes because, believe me, after 12 minutes you're gassed. They're a lot of fun. It's a very small net. We teach them the fundamentals. We have a whole curriculum outlined for the kids, and we have a blast at it. So it's very fun. It's nice because The opportunities to go back and forth play, and you can play at competitive level or play at just a leisurely level. It's only once or twice a week.
Nice, thank you.
Dan, I hope
Is it me?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for having us here tonight. I think it's fun to come and hear about all these different activities in the community that you're aware of some of them, but not all of them. My name is Dan Dose. I'm president of the Hopkins Fast Pitch Association. I see some familiar parents from our association, and as you mentioned, Billy coached us this summer a little bit, so some familiar people in the room. Hopkins Fast Pitch is a community-based, volunteer-run association to provide girls the opportunity to grow and develop their softball skills who reside in the Hopkins district. That's our core group. Our goal is to provide an environment where girls can develop their softball skills as one piece of it, but also learning lifelong skills of teamwork, hard work, and building lifelong friendships. I had an older daughter went through our program at one point. She's on a team that had kids from every elementary school in the Hopkins district. So to meet those kids and know those kids, you're going to see further down the road in junior high and high school is in those bonds that get made is just a huge thing for those kids. Before going too far, I want to alleviate kind of the connotation of fast pitch softball, especially when I'm talking to elementary parents. We have age appropriate levels. Our young kids, our pre-K and kindergartners play t-ball and coach pitch. Our first and second graders are more the machine pitch, and then at 9 years and up, they start to develop into some of the kid pitching levels, similar to like the Little League Baseball Association with kind of same age appropriate stuff as you go through. So it isn't necessarily scary fast pitch stuff. The reason we teach fast pitch is because they're developing the skills, because that's the way the game is played. If you want to play in junior high or high school or try to go on to college level softball, that's the game that's played. So they're learning skills that can help them if they want to somewhere down the road play on a high school team or try to play at some other different level. In the future, in fact, I think last year 100% of the high school varsity roster came through a fast pitch program. So it's not life-shattering or anything if you don't, but it just helps those kids develop along that. We offer summer softball programs for different levels for kids from pre-K all the way up to junior high and high school aged. Those seasons begin kind of April, May, depending how Mother Nature treats us. We can get outside and get on the fields. The younger kids tend to wrap up kind of end of June before the 4th of July weekend, and some of the older kids will go into July, but are wrapped up kind of mid to end of July. In addition to, in those summer seasons, we have practices, there's league games, and there's also some tournament opportunities as the kids get older to play in. In addition to our summer leagues, we run some winter skills clinics, which actually will get started here next week, this coming Sunday, the 19th, where kids come into the gym, all ages, all abilities come in. We keep them busy, run around for an hour and a half, gives them a chance to burn off some steam, do some softball stuff, develop some skills in the off season. And throughout that, of course, we have the high school team come and help coach with some of that, so those young kids come in and get to interact with those high school girls, and really kind of becomes a role model situation. Just kind of look up to them with their eyes about this big and think it's so cool. It's a fun piece for us because those kids that are coming back are kids that went through our program, and it's a big thing we talk about, coming back and getting back to the sport that you're involved in. So there's more information on our website about that. I'll leave some flyers as well. And registration's open for both our winter clinics for kids of all ages, and then our summer registration is also open right now. So if you're interested, feel free to let me know.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you. Trevor.